This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, and verse 9, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures. It says, But when you shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by end. This is the book of Luke, chapter 21, and verse 10, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures. Then say he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Wakar Kadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim scattered through the four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And I say shalom to the Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson that I want to bring out. This is from Reuters.com. And as we've been seeing, the ongoing back and forth conflict between Iran versus Israel, which is the Israeli Defense Force. And then keep this in mind too, you've been having the Israeli Defense Force been striking the Syrian army as well too. And this is a news article as of September 21st, 2023 at 10:13 a.m. updated 2 hours ago, and it reads, Israel says its tanks hit 2 structures used by Syrian army in the Golan area. And it says the Israeli military said on Thursday that its tanks had struck 2 temporary structures used by the Syrian army in the area of the Golan Heights as violating of a 1974 disengagement accord. It says the strike was carried out of the Israeli Defense Force. Soldiers identified the 2 structures in the area of the security zone yesterday, the military says. The IDF holds the Syrian regime responsible for all the activities occurring with its territory and will not allow any attempts to violate the Israeli sovereignty, it says. The announcement from Israel's military came after at least two people were killed while riding a motorcycle near the Syrian town of Beth-Jin, about an hour north of where the tank struck, according to 2 Palestinian sources and 1 Lebanese security source. The 2 Palestinian sources accused Israel of conducting a strike to target 2 men whom the sources identified as militants. The Syrian government did not immediately respond to the request for comment for the Reuters on both incidents. Get back to that Luke 21 verse 9 again. And as I've been saying once again, we have those you've been seeing those increasing tensions over there between the Israeli Defense Force versus the pro-Iranian groups, because you got those pro-Iranian groups and pro-Hezbollah groups and the Houthi rebels and other organization factors that's pro-Iranian and pro-Hezbollah. You have the Israel Defense Force been targeting areas over there throughout Syria, using airstrikes over there, and they use airstrikes on the Syrian army as well too. And not too long ago, you had the Syrian army accusing the Israeli Defense Force for firing off strikes over there, and a lot of times those airstrikes was hitting civilians and soldiers as well too. So I just want to add an additional note to that. But continuing on, this is the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 9, and it reads to the Holy Scriptures. But when you should hear of wars and commotions, right? That's what we're hearing over there in the Middle East, non-stop back and forth, proxy wars, endless wars, clash wars, wars and commotions. And be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by end. And this is the book of Luke, chapter 21, and verse 10, and it reads again through the Holy Scriptures. Then say he unto them, Nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. One nation of armies rising up against another nation of armies. And that's what we're seeing with the Iran versus Israel, the pro-Iranian groups versus Israel, pro-Hezbollah against Israel, the Syrian army against Israel. So those are nations or armies rising up against one another. One nation rising up against another nation, and another nation or army rising up against another nation of armies. different kingdoms of armies rising up against another different kingdom of armies, and that's what we're going to continue to see. So with that, hopefully this sit-down lesson was edifying of this recent news article from Reuters.com as of September 21st, 2023 at 10:13 a.m. as it updated 2 hours ago, and it reads again. Israel said its tanks hit 2 structures used by the Syrian army in the Golan area. So with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying. I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'Hashem, Yahweh Shai Ba'Hashem, Makakadash. Shalom to the elders for preaching the word, truth, and sincerity. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through the 4 corners of the globe, preaching the word, truth, and sincerity as well too. And until next time, I will say shalom.